Good morning. This is Greg Hernandez with Nasdaq's Market Intelligence Desk with today's look at the markets for Wednesday, May 26th. Futures are pointing higher this morning by about 1%, and major European markets are also higher, anywhere from 1 to 2% this morning. The positive sentiment seems to be based on really just lack of any fresh bad news coming out of the European crisis. Of course, indicators are still somewhat cautious, with the euro once again lower versus the U.S. dollar this morning in currency markets, and LIBOR rates also higher. So that's indicating some continued anxiety in the financial services sector in Europe. Here in the U.S., we did have good positive economic news. Durable goods came in showing a 2.9% rise in April. So that was better than expectations. Economists were only looking for a 1.3% rise. And we're going to see more housing data today at 10 o'clock New York time. New home sales for April. Now that's forecast to be 425,000 annualized units. So 425,000 is the forecast for new home sales. Now, interestingly, unlike existing home sales, which really bottomed in January 2009 and have been slowly coming back, the new home sales really kind of took a bit of a double dip, if you will, in February, which was its lowest point. So a little bit of a tougher recovery here on the new home sales front versus existing home sales, which we did see data on earlier this week. We also saw the S&P Case-Shiller index come out for March. Now that showed the second consecutive month of year-over-year increases, but was still slightly lower than expectations, and actually had a sequential decrease. So again, very, very mixed news on the housing front here in the United States, and we'll see additional data there. Also, of course, on Thursday, the second look at first quarter 2010 GDP. Now, interestingly, year to date now, after this fairly rapid sell-off in the last couple of weeks, 7 out of 10 of the S&P sectors are in negative year-to-date territory, with only financial services, industrials, and consumer discretionary being in positive year-to-date territory. Consumer discretionary stocks seem to have been favored over the last several months as the U.S. Consumer has shown signs of resiliency. Also, interestingly, here in the headlines has been the Gulf oil spill, and BP Amoco actually had its first up day as a stock after 14 consecutive losing sessions. So kind of interesting turnaround there yesterday with BP, which of course is central to this crisis here in the Gulf of Mexico. So that has been all. This is Greg Hernandez with Nasdaq's Market Intelligence Desk.